To this computer. All right. Good evening. Back to another night of moon magic.
Yes.
And tonight we have the full moon in Virgo. So my name is Irina. I'm for more healing and empowerment.
And I'm Sequoia from Array of Gratitude.
Okay. And so I guess let's just get started. We have a night of all things Virgo, all things moon. So what information do you have for everyone today?
Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the moon, the astrology of. I don't go too much into astrology because I'm not an astrologist. I'm like intermediate, but I want to make it more about the energy. So we do have the sign of Virgo, which is a lot about practicality, analyzation, planning, organizing, and it also deals with health. Um, the sign of health. I kind of feel like that's why a lot of times you might see like that maiden with like it looks like she's holding a bundle of like wheat or whatnot. It reminds me of harvest, but I remember reading somewhere it was more so about um like herbology or something like that. Don't quote me, guys, but I remember reading something like that because I was like, why do they always show like this woman with Virgo? And it's about yeah, like a health and like maiden. I don't know. But let me not get off track. Let me talk about things I do know, right? So um this full moon, right, is opposite of the sun, which we're still in Pisces. And this full moon has been tapping into a lot of analytical things. I want to say like let me read my notes. Let me just read some. Like higher perspectives coming in. Like if we've been on like a journey, we've been on a path for a while and we've been trying to get answers. I feel like this full moon is really culminating to a part where it's like, wow, this may be the end of one journey and on to a next, right?
Mhm.
Um, or just really finding truths. I wrote down 360 culmination or some things that you may have been working on actually seeming to actually start blossoming. Um, Wisdom is being brought to you as well. There's one thing about knowing something with knowledge, and also that wisdom is a little bit different because you actually can apply this knowledge now that you've learned and gain wisdom and gain that insight. Um, that true resonance within yourself to really apply these lessons learned, right? Um, Practical ways to start something to do over or show up. Um, I love helping people with creativity, and many times I've spoken with a lot of women that um, are multi-passionate, right? They want to do a lot of things, but sometimes it's not the season to do that, right? And other times it's just like it needs to be reformulated in a different way. And this is kind of where I'm using my chakra affirmation cards. And the chakra that's highlighting for this full moon is the crown chakra. And when the crown chakra is imbalanced, a lot of times our ideas can be scattered. It can kind of detach us or distort us from spiritual experiences, um, soulful experiences, really like connecting with our soul, understanding where or what our soul is trying to do, what purpose is it trying to live up to, right, on that soul level instead of more on our mental or analytical, egoic type of perspective or level, right, if that makes sense. um and a lot of times too, like the crown chakra can just be like overload, over sensory, which can cause something like anxiety. It can feel like anxiousness, right? Like just scattered all over the place or tapping into fear easily. Um, Instead of feeling like the trust with the universe, our knowing, our intuition, that divine source energy. And on this card, it says, when it's in its light activation, it says, I will always find the truth within me. And then in the shadow aspect, it says, everyone lies, and I don't know what to believe anymore. So that's kind of like that confusion. Just even like pulling from different stories that may not really be resonant to you.
Mhm.
Um, Forgetting to like look within first instead of, attaching or connecting with other things that aren't really aligned. But if we're not really aligned with our intuition or our soul, first and foremost, then it can be kind of easily to allow that crown to just either be not worn or open to too many things that can take you off your path, um and kind of dishearten your faith as well. So that's kind of what I wrote down for this energy of the full moon. Oh, this full moon also is, I don't know. It also, like, sometimes I like to bring the terminology like the worm moon. I don't know, Irene, like, do you want to jump in kind of,
I
or
don't, I
where should
wish
we
I
go?
could. I did not write, but I do have other things I want to say. I do know it was the warm moon, but I don't know a lot about it because I know we were said we weren't going to talk about it, so I didn't go into it. But
Yeah.
what I wanted to point out was you started talking about the Virgo opposite of the sun in Pisces, and what it was
Yes.
talking about is Pisces, very intuition, spirituality, whereas Virgo represents daily routine, physical health. And one of the things is, I was wondering, and I was going to ask you, would you feel like with Virgo, I know when it comes to the cards, the Pentacles is a bit much about like the material world, resources. Would you say that there's a connection there?
Yeah, I do think so. Earth signs.
Yeah.
Virgo is representation of the earth element, along with Capricorn and Taurus. And with the pentacles, the tangible things, um, the body even, like how I was talking about Virgo with
Mhm.
health, right? The
Yeah.
body, the physical things that are within ourselves, our structure that holds up the spirit, this vessel that we have. I'm trying to think what, because each sign even connects with a body part. I
That's something
think,
we can get into. I don't know. I
yeah,
know.
actually, I think that Virgo is connected to the stomach area and the digestion. So, like, if I'm correct, you see how that kind of, okay, thank you, Sadie. It's like this all comes into like breaking down, like what your stomach does. It breaks down your digestion, right? And it's reminding me even like the solar plexus, control, willpower, determination, confidence,
Mhm.
a
Yeah.
lot of like tangible things. I feel like you can implement those type of words into. And right now we're trying to move forward and break through with the clarity that's coming full circle for most of us, possibly,
Yeah.
during this time.
Yeah. One of the other things I wanted to point out is that this full moon in Virgo has like it's work hard but also play hard mentality. So it kind of just comes back down to balance too, right? So it's like figuring out where that balance is. Um, and so how do we create balance? We create healthy habits, we get into routines, we figure out how to organize things, and I think that that's kind of what this is trying to point us to, of like getting ourselves together to create that balance, because yeah, we got to work, most people got to work, and then we also have the part of we want to play and finding out the balance for that.
Absolutely.
And before you go on too, I wanted to say one thing. So one thing that I wrote down, I like to write things down. It makes me feel good. And it
Mhm.
says, listen to your intuition, follow your inner wisdom, and know that any healing journey inspired by this full moon will unlock a deeper and higher potential within you. So I just want to put that out there.
And that circles back. I feel that that connects back with the crown chakra as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Did anybody want to say anything before I get into the tarot reading? No. Okay. So I'm gonna do the tarot reading. It's more so talking about our energy, more so a collective reading. It may tap into collective as a whole, but I like to tap in um to these type of questions for us, our circle, because this is our time together that we have. And I love cards because they can also serve as conversation starters. I do intuitive messages, so I am intuitively looking at the cards. I love tarot. I love the elements and how the archetypes and everything that goes into tarot, but it also allows me to connect with my crown and my soul and um, intuitively speak on things, as well as sometimes even channeling messages as well, connecting with higher self and the people that I do the card readings for. So this tarot spread we're going to do every full moon and new moon. I like to just sit with myself, get really introspective, and use tarot spreads sometimes. If anyone else uses cards, you can definitely copy this. Maybe utilize this card spread for you. So I have them pulled already, but I think I might just no, I'm gonna leave them here. So I have them pulled already. And the first card that comes out with what new awareness is coming to the surface for me, I have here I don't know if you guys can see, but I have the 9 of Swords. I'm gonna lift this upright. Where are we here?
Right there. Perfect.
Yeah, and as you can see, the swords is the air element, all about thoughts, all about uh
Idea.
direction, intuition as well. And it's like looking at like this brain here, right? 9 of Swords is the anxiety card, overthinking card. Um, I want to even say like discombobulated. It's just like too much in your head. If you've ever, I'm sure we've all experienced this, right? Where it's just like information overload. And then like a lot of things we may be carrying limiting beliefs, right? Things that we need to really sit with and say like, okay, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm hearing, this is what I'm sensing right now. And do I choose to believe this right now, or do I choose to release this and um let the universe step in and guide me with unconditional love and um just that intuition. The intuition is like knowing what you don't know, but it knows already, right? I just pulled these cards, but I don't know who's going to connect with these messages, right? But we're all here. Um, we're all connecting, and there's always some type of form of mirror that the universe is letting us see ourselves within the micro and the macro. And going back to the question, what awareness is coming up to the surface for me? What awareness is, maybe these thoughts that are causing anguish, maybe causing um negativity or low vibrations, right? And you're seeing them for what they are now, either at a grander perspective or just feeling like, you know what, it's time. It's time to let these go. Um, Understanding some truths about it too, maybe why you may have been attached to whatever thought patterns you've been having, um, listening to your ego, um, or just wrapped around fear. This card does always remind me about fear as well. Like it just doesn't feel good at all. And I like to say sometimes fear is the opposite on the spectrum of love in a way. Like there's fear, there's love. And where do you want to be at, right? I was listening to something too. Sometimes fear can serve a purpose. I do think all things serve a purpose, but it's it's not to be held on to and attached. It's just kind of just alert us and say, okay, oh, this doesn't feel good. Don't want to go there, or um, a reaction of just where you're at right now in the moment. And I feel like it's okay to not be okay. Um, but we do have a choice to actually choose to gather what this information is telling us and move forward with a different perspective, a healing aspect, like a healing key almost to unlock something within you. That's what I'm feeling for that. Now, what hidden desires do I not see?
Before you go there, I just wanted something that was coming up for me was just the fact that to be aware for me is to be aware is to be alive. And so to be
Mm,
aware that I might be anxious, just being aware in itself, being aware that I might have some fears, some things that are making me uncomfortable, and just it's now present and I can own it. I can acknowledge it. And that's coming up for me as well.
yes, I like that. Thank you. And this is kind of, it's funny you said that, right? Because once you're aware, um, it's like me wanting to change something, right? And if I don't really know what to change, then it's kind of going to be harder for me to implement
Mhm.
or start that process. And once I'm aware of what I need to change, then it's like, oh, okay, now I can start adding new things. The second question is, what hidden desires do I not see? I have the 10 of Cups here. And
Mm,
it's reminding me of like after the storm, there's always sunshine. We can be afraid in the storm because a lot of times we really don't know what's going to happen. Storms can be dangerous, storms can be scary, and storms get dark as well. But afterwards, it's always sunshine. It just is. Especially if you make it through that storm. And just looking at all this yellow in this card is reminding me of the solar plexus, like how you're bringing up just like the willpower to do something. Um, the willpower is that drive and direction. And what you were talking about, Irina, awareness, right? Awareness and direction definitely allows you to aim towards the goals. Without that awareness, the direction may be unclear. Um, but it's also about owning too. Like we've been going through a lot of storms collectively, right? And sometimes when you don't have that willpower, when you don't have the support or just confidence or clarity, we can kind of lose hope and forget about what we truly desire, which is another thing that it's like, well, owning the fact that I do desire love, I do desire happiness, I do desire these goals that I want to meet. Just because this didn't happen that way doesn't mean that I can't have that. I might have it in a different package, but that feeling of the desire, the feeling of meeting those goals and completing those goals is more what we want to embrace the energy of, not the actual tangible things. And when I have 10 of Cups, Cups is the water element, Cups is the emotions, energy emotions we feel. So feel those desires and really feel and tap into those truths that you deem to want to connect with. And
mhm.
try not to attach too much of the physical. But again, the I'm getting lost for words here. The feelings, the emotions, right? That's not tangible. That's the energy that we want to tap into. So we can kind of balance that, right? um Irene, do you have something to say?
So we started off with talking about feeling the anxiety and the fear, and we're now aware of it. And so after having the awareness, maybe we don't even see, we get into a place where we can't see that this good stuff could happen. Like it could feel good after the anxiety and the fear. It could happen. And so maybe we've just been ignoring that because it feels too heavy. The anxiety and the fear feels too heavy. But now it's like it was hidden, but it doesn't have to be hidden anymore. The good stuff can happen. That's where the light, like what you're talking about, is it's like, well, just embrace the fact that this could happen. Like you can have some good, you can have the positive, you can have the the good feeling after the not so good feeling.
Absolutely. Because this is interesting. I just before we even got these cards, I just put them on my surface and then I flipped them over. And right here, the last card I have, oh, is the I am so bad with mirrors. This is the 10 of Pentacles. And it's like it was in reverse. So it's reminding me too of like, okay, yes, we do want this tangible thing. Like there's nothing wrong with having tangible things. There's nothing wrong with being material, wanting the material, wanting money even. You know, sometimes people say like have these attachments, these thought process around money. And it's like, well, this is what's going on in your psyche. This is what your mind is telling you, but it doesn't necessarily have to be real. If you actually like deem it to be real, tangible. The feeling here though is the importance. Really like important here is what are we truly feeling? And how is that actually aligning with our thoughts? Because if the feelings aren't aligning with our thoughts, there's a disconnect. And I feel like that disconnect is kind of not allowing things to materialize in the way that you desire, um, the truth that you're trying to connect with. Um, it's something about truth, right? Truth and stillness, I feel like truth comes with stillness, and just getting to know yourself more. Um, it's kind of reminding me of the infinity symbol. There's always a truth within yourself, and then there's a greater truth amongst the universe. And that reminds me of something tangible and something that's hard to grasp. And there's always two sides to a coin, but it's always this truth. And we have to figure out the balance of the mind and the heart, or the mind and the heart, right? And figure out what spirit is trying to bring to us in our truth of purpose. Of where we are trying to move forward to, where we're trying to actually level up in, and change and heal and transform into things. Um, it's just reminding me of like alchemy or something. And I'm not trying to get too deep here, but it's just like there's always this paradox here where we have to bring into balance, bringing back to the very first question where there's things may feel yucky, right? But there's always on the other side, there's always going to be that goodness, that joy, that brightness that we desire, that we thought was hidden, and that we're really trying to call in. But we got to still see what's in the present and be hopeful for what to come, if that makes sense. So trying to bring it full circle.
I got so excited and emotional at one point because it's like we were just talking about in terms of Pisces sun, Virgo moon, excuse me, it's just like, oh, it makes sense. We were talking about the mind, we were talking about our intuition, and then it just, you're right, like just comes back to full circle. And I brought up Pentacles before, and you said it was the 10 of Pentacles was the last card of like, what can I bring? how can I bring what is best for me into my reality? And so it was just like it all came together. And since I do have my therapist hat at sometimes, it's just almost like thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in a sense. And so like our thoughts impact our feelings, and our feelings impact our behaviors, and it's all connected still. And so it was just very, very interesting as you were talking.
And I like how you just brought up the thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. It's like the crown chakra, right? When we were talking about how this is kind of highlighting this full moon. When we have the spiritual effects are physical, but it takes a while for it to actually affect it because we start talking about like time factors and all that stuff, right? But when we're talking about energy, it's again like it's just reminding me of that infinity symbol. It always comes back to the center. Um
I was just thinking, I get too excited and I love it. I was
yeah.
thinking of that because you know the heart chakra is the connection between the two
Upper
realms
and
of
lower. Hmm.
chakras, and so that's kind of what I'm seeing and experiencing as you're talking. That because if we're thinking about the feelings portion, it brings together like the physical and then the emotion, the thoughts. So it's just I don't know, it's just all making sense right now.
Let me see if there's anything else that I just want to. Does anyone else have anything that they'd like to say, add to it, or just like recognize?
For me, what was really coming through at that end, I don't remember now what the questions are, but the third question with the Ten of Pentacles.
How,
Siri,
how can I bring what is, I'll share the screen again for you. Okay.
how can I bring what is best for me into my reality? And with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, I guess, I mean, the Ten of Pentacles is such a beautiful card, and it's rich and it's bountiful and it's just all the things. And for me, I saw that what it spoke to me is how can I bring what is best is by releasing attachment to all of that stuff, you know? That really was just like coming through like really loud. I mean, all these cards were just so loud. Like, and I've been seeing the number 8 everywhere, everywhere.
Wow.
This morning I was just like, oh, that's the infinity symbol, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
again, it's just like can't make it up.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Thank you for sharing
And
that.
that's thank you for sharing that because it's reminding me too, like these cards that just came out, you said 8. These cards that came out were 9, 10, 10, and that's like a progression here. And 10 is that cycle of beginning and ending.
Mhm.
Um that full circle coming back to self.
Yep. Yep.
Sometimes you guys, like when I do the spreads, it kind of gets me like jumbled up. And sometimes it's like, let me just pull the cards and flow with it. But it's kind of like tomato tomato. But I definitely feel like these other cards came out too, like Princess of Swords and Prince of Cups. It's really again like the thoughts and the feelings connecting, understanding even. Um and observing, right? Stillness, that's what's coming up. It just today I was in a group earlier and we were talking about um observation, like meditation, and a lot of times people sometimes think like meditation is, clearing the mind, but it's really more powerful when we are observing our thoughts and honoring them, the truth of what we are feeling and sensing in that time of stillness.
Yeah. Well, before we continue, I want to just share the journal prompts so that you guys can also just think about them because they really go well with what we were talking about here, with the tarot spread and just overall what this full moon is about. So I'm just going to share them and you can take a picture of them. You can hold on to them. They'll definitely be posted again later too, but all right. So just some of the questions, some of the prompts that I want you to think about are, how can I prioritize my wellness and get my daily routines more organized? What expectations of myself do I need to release to flow with life more? What are 3 actionable steps I can take today to make my dreams, goals, and intentions come true? And of course, finish the sentence, I am setting the intention to. So with that for a second, if you wanted to just think about that, you can always just focus on setting the intention, because if there's nothing else, Koi, anything else from you?
No, I just like reading these because I kind of get to read them at the same time as you all, so I like reading them.
All
That's
right.
all.
So wonderful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the bath. The bath. That's I should have put sound before because I'm not bathing. I'm going to bathe you in some sounds, yes. So I'm going to just make sure you put your thing on mute. All right. Just let me know how it sounds. Are you able to hear it? Great. All right. So get comfortable. If you want to turn your screen off so that no one's looking at you as you're being comfortable, up to you. All right. Get in a comfortable position. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable and safe to do so. Begin focusing on your breathing. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. With each breath you take, you drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, let your hands rest in your lap, just becoming more and more relaxed as you breathe in through your nose completely and exhale fully. Remember, we are setting the intention to whatever feels right for you. Taking a slow breath in, holding it at the top, nice and deep. And then exhale with a sigh. Again, rolling your shoulders, wiggling your fingers and toes. Bring yourself back to the moment, present, feeling all that goodness, the relaxation. Just bringing yourself back to. Open your eyes. How did that feel? Yay.
It felt good. Sometimes when I listen to like sound frequencies, I see colors, and I saw a lot of colors this time. It
Yeah.
felt really good.
Good. Any color specifically?
Um, it was kind of, I saw a lot more of like a blue and like purple type of color,
Makes
or fuchsia-ish. I don't know.
sense. I did have the throat chakra
hmm
and the crown chakra, so yeah.
I was seeing blue as well.
That's awesome. I'm so glad.
Just a real quick note here. My battery light just went on my laptop and I don't have my cord with me. So if I disappear on you all, that's where I went.
That's okay. We appreciate you being here, and please make sure you come back.
Yeah,
This will be posted too, but please, we're so glad that you were here.
it's been really lovely. Thank you.
Just in case you do get shut off, is there anything that you want to say, anything you want to add?
Um, no, it's just been really nice to just be in the energy and the sound was really soothing. I do sound healing myself, so it's just so nice to be on the receiving end, and just like, oh, so thank you.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. It was nice to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, it was
Always
nice.
so nice to hear your voice. It's so lovely.
Thank you.
Agreed. Agreed. So on that note, Boy, is there anything else you want to say as we wrap this up?
Um, I just want to say I'm really hopeful, and I hope that you are, or whoever else gets to watch this is really taking time to find balance. Um, Sit with themselves with some type of stillness, and really look at both sides and really find the discernment in ways to move forward in a way that feels good for them, resonant to them, and find like more hope and faith, because I just feel that there's a nice shift happening for all of us, and it's something to be grateful and just embrace, no matter if we know what it is or not. The unknown is scary, but I feel like this time around the unknown can actually be pretty good, and it might be the 10 of Pentacles or 10 of Cups. I don't know.
Yeah. And I kind of just want to say before we wrap up, I want to repeat the thing I said in the beginning. So it just says, listen to your intuition, follow your inner wisdom, and know that any healing journey inspired by this March moon will unlock a deeper and higher potential within you. So I just wanted to say that one more time so that we can all just listen to that one more again. So
I am gonna go because my battery it just went on me. So I'm sorry to cut this short, but
that's okay.
thank you so much.
Have a
Being
good
here.
night.
We'll see you again soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
And so it is you and I, and you have something you want to share with everyone, don't you?
Do I? No, I'm just playing. Yes, so I finally decided to go forward with my very first event that is, I like to say it's a soul care masterclass, because it's really allowing you to tap into your soul, tap into your offers as a business owner or startup company, and really find ways to detox from corporate. It's called the Corporate Detox, and it's really about dismantling the structures that we've acquired in our corporate lifestyles that pretty much um, can lead us to burnout. And I feel that burnout has been on the rise a lot more. And I'm finally embracing the fact of my journey and exploring what burnout was for me, and really helping entrepreneurs prevent burnout and recover from burnout in a different way that I like to share, with owning your energy, understanding your energy, so you can then follow more truths to your passions, right? And know where you're at in your journey of having a sustainable offer and sustainable business that feels good for you.
Awesome. So where can we find this information?
I will be putting the link at the bottom on my YouTube page. I'll have the link there. You can also go to my Instagram, my link in bio. It will say events and workshops. Um, yeah, and I also started, I'm going to be starting a group more so that's pertaining to the Queen of Wands group, right? Speaking of crowns, right? I want us queens, no matter, yeah, like I want us queens to really just own our crowns, right? And really utilize the crown energy of confidence, but also like knowing our unique um, talents and how to implement them with that confidence and effervescence. I don't know, that word's coming up, and just feeling good about making money off of the things we love and deem valuable for us and our business and others, to serve and help other people.
Awesome. Well, I know I'm joining. I'll be there with you. So
Yes.
this is great. So come and check us out. We will be back here in 2 weeks. We believe it's going to be at 6. It may have to be 6:30 just because we have something to do earlier that day. But we will definitely be posting that on all of our platforms, social media, websites, all the things. So look out for more of that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And we hope that this was helpful.
Yes, thank you. And next time we see y'all, it will be the new moon in Aries, right? I think.
I think so. Yeah. Yep. Awesome.
Can't
Take
wait.
care,
Thank
everyone.
you. Bye.